Hey friends, how's it going and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I know I have been really busy at work, so I finally make some time today to come out with a video to educate myself and yourself, and hopefully from my learnings you can benefit as well. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about combined subscription, and that's something that I have seldom used in the past couple of years, surprisingly, and I realized that it's actually pretty handy, and I want to share with you how it works. Okay, so as you can see, I'm on the Apple developer documentation over here, and we have this subscribe article over here. It's a bit hard to really understand some of this description over here, so I think the best way is just to show it to you how it works on the playground, and then I'm gonna offer like a more applicable application on a app itself. All right, so let's get started by going to the playground. So this is not the one. Let me move that out of the way. All right, so this is the one, okay, where we use the subscribe method over here. So let's quickly have a look. Let me make this a bit bigger for you as well. All right, so as you can see, I have two subjects over here. I have two pass-through subjects. And this is a number subject that accepts an integer. This is a text subject that accepts a string. All right, so over here, what subscribe allows you to do is for one publisher to listen to another. All right, so if you see over here, I have a number subject over here. Okay, maybe let's talk about number subject over here. All right, so what I'm doing is that I am sending all these integer values into this number subject. All right, and then what I'm doing over here is that I'm mapping the value, all right, and I'm checking if the number is an even number, is a even number, and if it is, I'm just going to return the string even, otherwise odd. All right, so notice over here I do a subscription to the text subject, and on line 15 I am just listening to the text subject. Okay, I don't really need this erase to publisher. Okay, I was just testing that out, and then I'm just going to print out whatever this text subject receives. All right, so when I hit the play button, notice that I get odd, odd, even, odd. All right, so if you have some kind of logic, all right, so let's assume that you are receiving a stream of data from one publisher, and then you want to kind of manipulate that data and then to return to another publisher, you can do it using this pattern. All right, so the question you may ask is that how is this applicable to a real-life application? All right, so let me just quickly show it to you. All right, let me just move this out of the way, and then I have something that's pretty nice. I took about an hour to just do this, so hopefully you get some value out of this. Okay, so over here I have an application that has a stack view that contains 3 image views over here. Okay, and then every time I toggle my location, I'm going to update the images inside this image view. Okay, so just watch over here. Let me just select this. Okay, I think let me just move this up so you can see. All right, so let's go to England over here. So whenever I toggle England, I'm gonna get like 3 random images of England. All right, and then let's go to South Africa. All right, so the question you might be asking is, how is this done? I mean, obviously this is to illustrate the principle of the subscription. All right, so let's go to Tokyo, Japan. All right, so it's pretty nice, right? Hong Kong, China. Nice. Okay, so let's walk through this project, and I'm gonna explain to you piece by piece how this works. Okay, so I have only one file over here. I didn't really want to create multiple files because I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna scroll back and forth this one piece of text. Okay, so it's not gonna be very big, less than 150 lines long, so it's pretty easy. Okay, so let's first look at what we have over here. We have a location manager. All right, so quite self-explanatory. The purpose of the location manager is just to get the coordinates, and then what we are doing is that we are using a reverse geo to get the country out of that. Okay, so over here, location manager, I have a location manager object. I have a country location subject, which is CL location, and then I've got country subject over here. All right, do I really need this? Actually, I don't think I need this location subject. Let me just do a quick check. Okay, actually I don't really need this. Let me just kill this. Okay, so over here I'm going to call the start function after I initialize the location manager inside view.load, and then it's going to ask me for the necessary permissions, which once granted, this location manager did change authorization function will be called. So if we are on authorized always or authorized when in use, we're going to start updating the location. And when that happens, this delegate method is going to fire. So we're going to get the location from the location property. And then I'm going to call a function here called fetch country. And what this does is that we use CLJO coder to reverse this, basically just to return the country name. So, all right, so if I'm in Singapore, it will reflect Singapore. Okay, so I believe you would see, okay, maybe I'll show that to you in just a while. Okay, so this would return it to this function over here, and then I'm going to check that this is not nil, and then send this country to the country subject, which is this guy over here. All right, so you notice that this is a private let, so it's not accessible by classes outside of location manager. So I've exposed this by making a country publisher. So basically this is a read only. All right, so this is a good practice that you should inculcate as well, because we don't want classes outside of location manager to tweak this. All right, so we can have very strict access control. All right, so I'm done with the location manager. Okay, so what happens over here in the view controller? All right, so maybe just a quick glance. What do we have inside here in the storyboard? Just a stack view with 3 UI image view. Okay, so over here we have the outlet collection. I have the location manager, so I initialize this. And then let's see what we have over here. So I called the start method during view did load. Over here I have a subject that contains which data type is a string array. So this will contain all the different image URLs over here. Okay, as well as a cancelable just to hold the subscription. All right. So in the load view function, I called the observe method. I think that's pretty much what we need. Okay, the observe as well as the make URL. Okay, so let's see what happens over here. Okay, so I'm going to observe the country publisher. All right, so this will return to me a country. This is a of type string. So if I'm in Singapore, you'll say Singapore. Okay, and then what I'm doing over here is that I'm flat mapping it. Okay, why am I doing that? It's because I'm actually making a API call to Unsplash API. Okay, so let's see over here. So I'm going to convert this into a URL session. Okay, so and then I'm gonna pass in the URL. So what's this URL? So notice that I have this make URL private function over here that takes in a country. All right, so I'm going to so this is how I formulate the URL. So this is a cleaner way to do that. So as you can see, the scheme is HTTPS, host is unsplash.com/search/host /photos will be the path, and I'm passing in 3 parameters over here. So yep, so the page I'm trying to randomize it so that every time I switch the country, it gets a different image. The query will be the country, and then for the client ID, I believe this is some kind of access token. So feel free to register on your own. Okay. All right. So over here, I'm just going to return the URL. Okay. So let's come back up over here. So what happens? So I'm going to decode the data to the result response .self. And then, okay, basically I have that strut over here. All right, so this is how I passed it. And then ultimately what I really want is just an array of URL strings, right? So I'm going to map to this images over here. And if you see what this is basically a string array. Okay, so what I'm doing over here is that I'm going to subscribe to the image URL string subject. So every time this is being processed, it's going to basically send that information into the images URL string subject. And then finally inside this this object over here, I'm calling the sync method. And then once I get all the URL subjects, okay, maybe let me just print that out over here. So URL strings. And then let me also maybe print out the country here as well, so you can kind of see what's going on. Country. All right, so let's run the app and let's watch everything in action. So okay, I forgot to explain this part. So since I have the I have all the image views over here, this is inside an array. What I need to do is to enumerate it, basically to loop it, and then just set the URL, the image views with a different image over here. All right. So as you can see, where am I right now? I am in Hong Kong, China. All right. Okay, so these are the images, and then when I am to switch this, okay, so let me just clear the console. And when I switch this to maybe USA, so notice that I have a bunch of images that's being printed on the console. Alright guys, so as you can see, the application would be, depending on where the user location is, you can kind of like, set a different theme on the app itself. Alright, so like, like on Airbnb, depending on where you are, it shows you a different list of accommodation. So technically it uses that country code or the coordinates to, pass as parameters to another API to get all this relevant listing. Alright guys, I hope that this is helpful for you. I think it's more likely that you can reference the sample code to kind of make more sense out of this and to solidify your understanding. And that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers and bye.